Good evening. Call to order the City Council, Perrysburg City Council meeting of February 18, 2020. Roll call, please.
Okay, Ms. Bourne.
Here.
Mr. Coolman.
Here.
Ms. McCartney.
Here.
Mr. Matuzak is absent. Mr. McCarthy.
Here.
Mr. Smith.
Here.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Here. Please stand if you were able and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
President of Council, the minutes for February 4.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe everyone has had a copy of those meeting minutes distributed to them. Hearing no proposed changes, I will make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of the City Council held on February 4th, 2020, as written, dismissed with the reading.
Second. Roll call.
Okay, Ms. Bourne.
Yes.
Mr. Coolman.
Yes.
Ms. McCartney. Mr. McCarthy.
Abstaining.
Mr. Smith.
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Thank you.
We have no special reports today, letters, communication, or citizens' concerns. If you have a concern that's not otherwise covered by the agenda, here's your chance. Okay, moving along. Administrative reports. As you are aware, the administration has submitted its proposed budget adjustments to council for consideration, and that comes up in finance, but just want to bring that to your attention. Administrator?
No report, Your Honor.
Finance Director?
No report.
Director of Law?
No report.
President of Council?
No report, Your Honor.
Excellent, we're on a roll. Finance and Economic Development?
Mr. Mayor, Mr. Matuzak had asked me if I would
Sure.
give his report.
Thank you.
Finance and Economic Development Committee, February 11th, 2020. The meeting was called to order at 5:33 p.m. by Chairman Jim Matuzak. Committee members present were Deborah Bourne and Jim Matuzak. Tim McCarthy was absent. Also present were Laura Alkire, Law Director Bridget Cabot, City Administrator Dave Krebs, Deputy Finance Director Amber Rathman, and Steve Ronder, Income Tax Commissioner. Solar Power and Light presentation. Ms. Cabot introduced Greg Akers and Brent Boyd of Solar Power and Light. She said that a representative from First Solar had planned on attending, but was unable to make it to the meeting. Mr. Akers and Mr. Boyd made a presentation to the committee regarding the concept of constructing a solar array using First Solar panels, which would allow the city to purchase energy for municipal buildings for solar power and light at a cost less than what we currently are paying for electricity. Mr. Boyd stated that they have built arrays around other municipalities and schools. He explained that the solar is a long-term hedge against volatile energy prices because the fuel for solar is the sun. Mr. Boyd said that three things needed are land to build on, an energy contract with the city, and investors. He further explained that the investors want to know there are contracts with reputable purchasers of electricity before they agree to invest in an endeavor. He added that the investors can get investment tax credits for such an investment. He said there would be several benefits to the community. It would position us as a green city. It would slow down the need for utility companies to add infrastructure at a cost to the community. It would allow for the reinvestment of savings for electricity. It would increase property values, and it would provide the enhanced educational programs and increased marketing values. Mr. Boyd said that the next step in the process to secure a contract with the city would be to obtain a letter of intent from the city and to initiate the review process of the Power Purchase Agreement, PPA, contract. Ms. Cabot said that Ms. Alkire has a copy of those documents and that she can share them with the committee. She added that Mark Fry of Palmer Energy, the city's energy consultant, can come to the next committee meeting. There was a brief discussion about economic development with the city. Ms. Bourne asked if Glenn Grisdale, the city's economic development consultant, could come to the next finance committee meeting. Ms. Alkire said he usually presents a report to the committee in April. Finance directors. The committee reviewed expenditures over $5,000 for the month of January. Ms. Bourne asked if the blinds for the fire station were for station 38, and Ms. Cabot said that they were. Mr. Matuzek asked if the sunshades went up at Riverside Park. Ms. Cabot said that they were delivered too late in the season, so they are being stored at the Department of Public Service. Tax Commissioner's report. Mr. Bronder reported that tax collections for the January 2020 were $1.9 million, which is up 1.3% from January 2019. The 2020 amended budget. Mr. Krebs distributed the amended 2020 budget to the committee, and Ms. Cabot brought several of the line items to the attention of the committee. There being no further business, the committee adjourned at 6:56 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Jim Matuzek, Chairman, Finance and Economic Development Committee. The next meeting will be Tuesday, March 10th, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Service Committee?
No report, Your Honor. Our next meeting is Wednesday, February 26th at 5:30.
Thank you. Safety Committee?
No report, Your Honor. Our next meeting will be on February the 25th at 6 p.m.
Recreation Committee?
No report, Mr. Mayor, but our next meeting will be March 10th, 2020 at 6:30 p.m.
Planning and Zoning?
Keep the story going, no report. In essence, for our last meeting, we will meet again, Corey, we did change it to March 2nd at 5:30 p.m. Or no, 4:30 p.m.
Personnel Committee?
All right, I have a report for you. Meeting was called to order at 5:11 p.m. by Chairman Corey Coolman. Committee members present were Corey Coolman, Tim McCarthy, Jim Matuzek was absent. Also present were Bridget Cabot, City Administrator, Laura Alkire, the Law Director, and Kelly Chalfant, the Human Resource Manager. Reviewed health insurance for elected officials. The committee reviewed a draft ordinance 2-2020, which would amend section 266.09-1 of the codified ordinances regarding health insurance for elected officials. The amendment would prohibit elected officials who have access to health insurance through their employer, spouse's employer, or retirement plan from using the city's health coverage. Mr. McCarthy suggested that the language be added that if the insurance is available from an employer, spouse's employer, or a retirement plan at the same or lesser cost, then the elected official could not use the city's insurance. It was clarified that the cost he was referring to was the premium cost. Ms. Alkire proposed the following language: elected officials who have health benefits available through an employer, spouse's employer, or retirement benefit, and that benefit has an out-of-pocket premium cost to the elected official that is the same or less than the city's plan, they shall not be eligible for health benefits under the city's plan. The committee agreed 2-0 to recommend the approval of the amendment. There being no further business, the meeting adjourned at 5:20 p.m. So with that, I'd like to introduce ordinance 2-2020 and move that the rules be suspended to allow for its reading by number and title only, and to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Roll call?
Okay, Ms. Bourne,
Yes.
Mr. Coolman,
Yes.
Ms. McCartney,
I abstain.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes, what are we doing?
We're introducing the ordinance.
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance number 2, 2020, amending codified ordinance section 266.09-1, previously amended in ordinance number 62, 2019, on December 17th, 2019, regarding health insurance for elected officials and declaring emergency.
Any discussion?
You
You have
to move it.
I move that ordinance 2-2020 be passed as an emergency measure.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call? You have discussion?
No, okay.
Any discussion? Okay. Okay, Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Coolman,
Yes.
Mr. Van Huzen,
Yes.
Mr. McCarthy,
Yes.
Ms. Bourne,
Yes.
Mr. Attorney.
I abstain.
Okay.
Public utilities?
Oh yeah, I should say, our next meeting is Tuesday, March 24th, 2020 at 5 p.m. Nothing further than that.
All right, sorry about that. Public utilities?
Thank you, Your Honor. If you'd like, I can read through the entire budget since I don't have a report, but I do appreciate having any time on the podium as much as I can. But unfortunately, I do not have a report today. Our next meeting is going to be on the 26th, I believe, which is next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. And hopefully everyone can come out and enjoy a nice conversation about our utilities.
Excellent.
So thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any other business come before this council?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. I've been contacted by a citizen who's a neighbor of the property at 120 West 2nd Street. She mentioned the following issues: concrete trucks blocking the street, and the alley blocked with concrete trucks, people walking in the street because no sidewalk was available. And I guess my question is, whose responsibility is it to keep the sidewalk open and the alley open?
So the concrete trucks are utilizing the alley
Yes,
as well as parking across the
Yes.
sidewalks?
yes.
Do we have any contact information?
I'd be happy to send it to you.
Great, and we can certainly follow up and make sure that the resident understands, that they have to maintain the sidewalk open to the public, and we can understand a little bit better the need for the use of the alley. There are some tight spaces and tight corners, and they may be temporarily utilizing that in which to pour concrete, but we'll follow up.
Thank you.
Any other business?
I'll move to adjourn.
So, adjourn.